violence or no other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
Three separate shootings overnight leave 4 people hurt and 1 dead. That includes a triple shooting in the CBD. The NOPD says just after 12:30 this morning, officers arrived here in the 300 block of Barone Street, where they found 3 men suffering from gunshot wounds. They were all rushed to the hospital, where we're told a 22-year-old victim later died. The 2 others were treated for their injuries. No further details are available at this time. And about a half mile from that incident in the French Quarter, the NOPD says a shooting sent a man rushing to the local hospital. Officers say it happened around 3 o'clock this morning at St. Louis. And
dang, you can, I mean, Sundays ain't even sacred no more. They busing on Sundays. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Royal Street. And then about 20 minutes later, police tell us a man arrived at a hospital with a gunshot wound to the back. The NOPD says this happened at North Galvez and Fats Domino Avenue. Any updates to any of these shootings, we will bring them to you right here on Fox 8.
Calling for teamwork, New Orleans' top prosecutor insists he's doing all he can to catch up on crime fighting, and he wants others to follow suit. WDSU's Harrison Golden, he joins us live. Harrison, what did the DA have to say tonight?
Well, Sherman, DA Williams stood this morning before a few dozen folks over in Lakeview. Carjackings have been getting a little more common there, as they have been all across this city. And the DA is not mincing words here. He says there's work to do.
New Orleans is at its lowest moment as it relates to crime. I'm scared. I'm the DA.
So you heard what he said. He says New Orleans is at the lowest moment it has been when it pertains to crime. And New Orleans is not the only city like that. Every city that we cover on this channel is like that. Okay? This is a thing now. This is a growing trend. This is what they are trying to make us grow accustomed to. All right? It's the truth. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Days after his city hit 100 homicides since January 1st, District Attorney Jason Williams is holding nothing back. The DA telling a frustrated...
And look who cares. Look who cares. City doesn't give a damn. And you know the community doesn't get it. Jason Williams, the only black guy there. The only one. We got Buddy right here with the mask on. He looking like an assistant. So it's safe to say that the community doesn't care. They don't. If they did, they'd be here.
Frustrated Lakeview Civic Group Saturday. He's frustrated too.
But my mother shouldn't say, meet me at the gas station so I can get some gas. That's not how to live. And if we don't get it.
So you heard what he said. He said his mama is telling him to meet him at the gas station. Meet him at the gas station. So, or meet her at the gas station so she can get some gas. Because she's scared of these super carjacking gremlins. I've told you guys. We've seen it all before. We saw the Linda Fricky situation. We saw the woman who got dragged at the Costco. The gas, not only are the gas prices outrageous, about to hit $6 a gallon this summer, but to add insult to injury, these super gas pumping gremlins are on demon time.
Under control, we're not going to have any New Orleans to spend $30 million on because everybody's going to be gone.
His Q&A comes amid concerns of a violent summer ahead. It also comes as critics claim his office is not issuing charges fast enough, causing some offenders to strike again. Williams says his team is working on.
Yep. So the one of the only black guys there, he's a photographer. We got another brother in this corner. I don't know what he doing, but he looking real assistant like too. So it's safe to say that they've got plenty of chairs. It's not like this was a glider only meeting. This ain't no secret KKK meeting. No, this is in a public school, as you guys can see. The community is nowhere to be found on these issues. We simply, I mean, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, we simply don't care.
On that, but adds pandemic-related delays are still causing backups.
Most of the screeners that were present under the last administration are present today. We need more of them because we have more crime and more cases coming through it.
More people to screen cases, and more people at the city's real-time crime center, so staffers can pinpoint crimes that just happened before more happen.
If we're going to spend $6.7 million on this phenomenal room that can track license plate readers and tell us what is happening on our streets.
See, all this surveillance state, no, bro. We just need more cops patrolling. Get back to old school policing. That's what we need right now, because these super gremlins are out of control.
We should be using it to prevent sprees of crime.
New Orleans isn't the only city with more violent crime lately, but the DA says unlike most major cities, New Orleans has fewer people. And
dang, shorty thick as what the what the hell? They just got thick sisters walking around New Orleans like that. Sheesh.
Fewer degrees of separation between them. He says that should help the city escape this problem if everyone steps up.
Get your boots on and get in and help your neighbor, and that is where we are as it relates to crime.
And so this all comes about 3 years since 2019 saw a record low number of homicides, at least in quite a while for New Orleans. And of course, the city has not seen this many homicides this early in a calendar year since before Hurricane Katrina.
Dang.
Reporting live, Harrison Golden, WDSU News.
Numbers there. Thank you very much, Harrison. Meanwhile, New Orleans police are investigating two separate shootings that happened this morning and later in the afternoon that left two men injured. The first shooting was reported around 3:15 this morning on Elysian Fields Avenue near I-610 East. Police say one man arrived at the hospital after being shot several times. And around 2:30 this afternoon, another man was taken to the hospital after being shot near North Claiborne and Elysian Fields Avenue. No further details have been released at this time. If you have any information that can help police, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 504-822-1111.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here for these niggas come back.
Whoa.
Yo,
Whoa.
ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Developing news tonight, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a Metairie teenager and hurt 2 others outside of a Waffle House. It happened early this morning in Gonzales in Ascension Parish. Police say 18-year-old Willie Bridges of Metairie died.
So we got this this sister filming people who just got shot. Obviously, there's no fear in her heart. The Super Gremlins just spun the block and she's filming. Her Instagram is pretty black. And I actually went to her Instagram and it's not looking good, okay? I'll just read you guys her bio. The bio is Caden and Cash Mommy. And when you look at the Instagram, like she's literally bent over in the profile picture. I'll screenshot it and I'll show you guys what it's looking like. But she's literally bent over like she's ready to receive some from the BNAC in the profile picture. So it's safe to say these are the sisters that we have out here representing, filming straight up murders, and reproducing these super gremlins on Demon Time.
2 other juveniles were hospitalized. We don't know their ages or identities. Sam Winstrom has been following this story all day and joins us live in studio. Sam, investigators believe the victims were not the intended targets here.
That's right, Devin. We don't know who the shooter's intended targets were, but eyewitness video we obtained shows that 3 people they did shoot in the gruesome scene they left behind when they ran away.
They is dead. Oh my God.
Chaos outside of Waffle House in Gonzales early Saturday morning after a shooting left 1 man dead and 2 juveniles wounded. Bernadette Johnson was making deliveries last night when she saw the crowd forming outside the restaurant and knew there would be trouble.
I saw a bunch of people, but I said, you know, something not good gonna come about that. So I kept on going. When I passed back,
look, if she saw a group of gliders of this, she would have been happy to go into the Waffle House. I'm just keeping it a buck. But she saw a whole bunch of super gremlins, pants sagging, probably playing some loud ass music out their car, smoking Black and Milds, kicking it in front of the Waffle House. And that's why she kept going. That's the reality.
Outside the restaurant and knew there would be trouble.
I saw a bunch of people, but I said, you know, something not good gonna come about that. So I kept on going. When I passed back through, I saw a guy laying on the ground, and I later found out that somebody was shot and killed.
She's raising her 2 sons nearby.
She raising her 2 sons. Hopefully she can keep her sons away from this mess, but they in the back seat. I mean, like I said, hopefully she keeping her kids away from this mess. But there's no father in the picture. I don't know how she's going to keep up with these 2 boys or how she even got 2 boys in the first place. Where's the father? Okay. Perfect example of sisters. Come get your kids.
She's raising her 2 sons nearby.
Too close to home. Too close to home. My boys ride their bike through here. That's too close.
Police say 3 people were shot, including Willie Bridges, an 18-year-old from Metairie who was killed. 2 juveniles were also hurt in the shooting. Police say both of them are in the hospital, one of them in critical condition. Video from social media shows the aftermath of the shooting as police arrived on the scene and witnesses try to save the victims' lives. On Saturday, there are still bloodstains on the pavement outside Waffle House.
How could they, like, with Waffle House being open right now, that don't sit well with me. Because, you know, his...
Oh, so she wants Waffle House to close down the business because these super gremlins are doing what they do. Like, why do the sisters want to blame the business? It's not their fault. What you want the fry cook, the dude who whipping up the the waffles, who throwing the blueberries in the waffle to come out here and stop these fools? What do you expect from the Waffle House? Look at what happened to the security guard who tried to stop that the Nigel super gremlin on Demon Time at the 4th of the Child in Atlanta. So yes, we're gonna keep our doors open and we're gonna keep flipping these waffles to y'all. Okay? And if you don't know how to act outside of the premises, that's not our business. What is our business is making these waffles, these biscuits, these grits, these all-star specials fresh, hot, and ready for your ass when you pull up so you can get in and get out.
Blood still on the ground, his slippers, his mask that he wore, all that's still on the ground. And I think that's very disrespectful. It's just heartbreaking.
Now, please.
So she blamed Waffle House and not the Super Gremlins on Demon Time. This is why the community is going to hell in a handbasket.
Haven't identified any suspects in the case and say that the shooter is still on the loose.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video. All right, guys. So we are live again, baby. Hey, first things first, make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that PayPal. Make sure y'all hit that GoFundMe or cop the merch. Y'all already know I am completely demonetized on all platforms. YouTube does not want this message to get out there. So I do want to give you guys a friendly reminder on how you can support the channel. You can also go to the Patreon, and all of those links are in the description below. Now, today we are discussing the city of Detroit, okay? The D. And there are a lot of things going on in Detroit. Very sad things. But we have to talk about this. Okay. All of these democratic cities are completely and utterly failing. Okay. And we're going to cover it. All right. We're going to break it down. We are not going to let these stories get overlooked, quite frankly. So we're going to start off with some of the happenings in Detroit. We're going to start off a little lighter. Okay. Okay. Kind of warm up, wet our palates a little bit. Pause. And then we're going to get into the more heavy stuff. This is the pregame for all you drinkers out there. And the main event will be following the stories that we bring up. So the first story I have for you guys is a young man who was beaten rather at football camp. Okay. And here's something that I want to explain. The bullying in the community is the most intense, most degenerate, most violent, most long-lasting, most traumatizing than any other community known to man, period. The level of bullying that I have seen going to schools in the community, it's unprecedented and it's uncomparable to any other institution that I've ever attended. Okay. And that goes for elementary school, middle school, high school, hell, even HBCUs. The bullying in the black schools it's astronomical. And, you know, a lot of black people fail to even classify some of their actions as bullying. All right. You know, when fights happen in school over, you know, making fun of somebody or the way they look or the way they dress. And this guy is literally defending himself every single week, getting into fights every single week. You know, we don't classify that as bullying in the community. We need to. All right. Because what is happening is it's just making and creating more violent people. So let's get into it.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now. A Southfield mom is calling for accountability tonight after she says her high school son was severely beaten up by teammates on his football team. Thanks for being with us here at 6. I'm Karen Drew, in for Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skilly, and the injuries are jarring. A broken eye socket, a broken nose, serious enough for the boy's mother to go to police. Jacqueline Francis live with us now after talking with the...
And they broke his eye socket, broke his nose. I mean, this could be a form of hazing, but totally uncalled for. And, you know, this young man didn't deserve to get beat up by the whole team. But this is something that is pretty normal.
Family about what happened. Jacqueline.
Devin, this was supposed to be a time for bonding. The Southfield A&T football team spending a week in the hotel to kick off their season. But one mom tells us her son was badly beaten by his own teammates. This high school football player's season ended before it started. The 16-year-old Southfield A&T student was attending preseason camp where the players spent the week at a local hotel. The player's mom said she got a call at 2:30 in the morning from her son saying he'd been beaten up.
He's fouled.
Dang. So it definitely sounds like a hazing situation. He could be a freshman. They caught him lacking while he sleep, hazed him. I mean, these things happen. But these super gremlins, they take it too far. They take it way too far, okay? The fact that you're going to beat this man while he is asleep, unconscious, don't even give him a fair fight. I mean, super gremlins, they don't play fair. They always somewhere jumping somebody. They always somewhere got to sucker punch somebody. They always got to hit somebody off guard. They always got to sneak attack somebody. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Following behind with a towel compressed against his face. And at that point, I asked him to let me see. And when he showed me, I knew immediately he needed to go to the emergency.
He had multiple face fractures to his eye socket and nose. Yesterday, a month after the incident, he underwent eye surgery as part of the recovery.
Never in a million years would I have let him leave my care had I known that, you know, something like this was going to happen.
Yeah, and when you send your child off to football camp, you send him off expecting him to become a better man, to come back a stronger man, a braver man. But when he comes back all bloodied and beaten up, you got to ask yourself, man, you know, I can understand as a parent, you're blaming yourself because you thought you were sending them to a safe place. And that turned out not to be the case.
Says the school district has been largely unresponsive. The parents had only one meeting with the principal.
I've been reaching out to the superintendent, trying to get in contact. No one is responding. No one is calling me back.
She says her son's attackers blocked him from leaving the hotel room.
I don't know if it's a hazing. I know that that this was a situation where it's not a boys being boys type thing. This young man specifically told him that he was going to F him up. And that's exactly what he attempted to do.
The family tells us they filed a police report with Southfield Police. We're still working to get our hands on that report. In the meantime, the school district says they have no official comment regarding this family. They also declined a request for interview or any further explanation. We're live in Southfield. Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Oh, boy. All right, Jacqueline.
Yeah, man. So definitely wondering where the coaches were at. But this is nothing new. All right. And we knew this shit. We knew this shit. So there's so many other stories coming out of Detroit that I have to highlight. But guys, make sure you support the channel. Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. We need we need some support to keep pushing. If you can't support financially, hit the like button, hit the comment section, share this with a friend. Because if you are not participating in the op culture, and you're trying to do the right thing, you're in danger. Just like that story I covered earlier with the principal. I mean, you are in danger. And I mean, it's only getting more violent in the community, and there's being nothing, absolutely nothing done to stop it. Nothing. All right. Nothing tangible, at least, nothing feasible, nothing that makes sense, nothing rational is being done to stop the violence in the Black community, other than what's going on this channel. So if you have some stake in this conversation, if you want to put some weight into this movement, then show your support.
Thing on our birthday. We never want to do the same thing on our birthday. We don't want to wear the same clothes. You know, we got different interests. He a boy, I'm a girl.
Twins and the youngest of 9 children. Asia's brother, Amir Allen Vincent, shot and killed Wednesday. The last time they spoke was the weekend prior to his murder.
He just told me he was going to his baby mama house to watch the baby. Yeah, he said he was going over there to watch the baby, and he was like, he'll be back.
On Saturday night, family and friends held a vigil on Joseph Campo on Detroit's east side, where 19-year-old Amir was killed.
It don't feel real. His room's still set up like he left it. It's still like a dream. Like, yeah, it ain't real. It's hard. You know, we never lost nobody. We got all our siblings, so it was just the youngest one.
A tragedy impossible.
So as you guys can see, I mean, 19-year-old boy shot to death. Nobody really knows what's going on. And this could have happened simply over a social media post. Maybe he was participating in the op culture. It's extremely hard not to. As a young Black guy in this day and age, if you're a Gen Zer, it's extremely hard not to get caught up into the op culture. And that might as well could have happened. It could have been his beginning of participating in the op culture, or he couldn't have been involved at all. All right. But at the end of the day, there's never really a reason to take someone's life in this way. So, I mean, condolences out to the family, but we're going to start seeing more and more of this, more of the same. The sisters are still voting blue. Their loved ones being murdered in the streets doesn't change that at all.
To make sense of. Whoever killed Amir is still out on the streets. Family members hoping sharing his story will help generate information about the case. Meanwhile, Amir's baby girl, Aubrey.
It kind of feel like we still got a piece of him here, you know, having her around. And she got his whole face. You know, it's just hard because she's not going to grow up with him. And we got to make sure she constantly reminded that she had a dad. She would have had one.
So he had a daughter, obviously leaving her behind now. Oh, man. I mean, this is really starting to hit, guys. The communitize is being systematically executed. These super gremlins are on demon time.
If he wasn't taken away for no reason.
Amir's family has set up a GoFundMe to help raise money for funeral costs. If you would like to help, we'll be putting a link on our website, fox2detroit.com. On Detroit's east side, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
So yeah, that shit was deep right there. I mean, this is pretty much the norm. I don't see any change. I really don't. You know, and we cover these stories every day. I've been trying to go even harder since I've been demonetized and shadow banned. I've been trying to show you guys more of this stuff to let you know that, hey, whether I stop doing this type of content or whatever happens to me, this shit ain't going nowhere, man. This shit ain't going nowhere. These super gremlins are going to continue to delete each other. And now what's happening on the border, man, I mean, we're starting to get all types of people flooding in, burrito gremlins as well. But they're even bringing in like Haitians and Somalians, as we covered the Somalians. They're bringing in Jamaicans and random Africans from different countries in Africa. And it's not good. I'll tell you that much. A lot of people from these third world countries are fleeing their countries and coming to Mexico and then entering into the United States illegally through Mexico. And it's not just Mexicans. Okay. So expect to see a lot more of this type of violence. These issues are not being addressed. And hell, at this point, I don't know what the hell to do, you know, because they definitely don't want me to be the purveyor of this information. So I'm kind of just trying to do my part while, you know, while understanding at the same time that, you know, it pretty much looks OV. I'm not gonna lie. It feels bleak. It feels bleak. Okay. It really does. It feels like there's no way out. It feels like we're trapped in a continued loop of just black man after black man murdering one another, murdering other people, okay, in other demographics. So we have to address this murder issue in the community. Otherwise, hey man, it's a wrap.
Devastated. Well, we know the family is absolutely devastated, but they have so many questions too in terms of the investigation. Police are still trying to piece a lot of things together themselves, but the family has questions relating to how can something like this happen when their daughter tried to do the right thing.
She led with her heart. She would give you the shirt off of her back. She was always helping people.
LaDonna Kim says that's exactly what her daughter was doing when her life was stolen from her over the Labor Day weekend. Family members say 27-year-old Donna Wilbert was gunned down at Hollywood Coney Island on Detroit's west side early Sunday morning, not long after she tried to break up a fight.
Damn. So she tries to break up a fight. Shout out to Romare Dubois with the $20 cash app. I really appreciate that.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Romare Dubois is definitely outside and the sponsor of this stream. So shout out to Romare Dubois. He says, support my boy, BGZM News 17.
Oh, say less.
So you already know what it is, man. And I'll read some of you guys' chats as well throughout the stream, whether you donate or not. But if you do want to get your chat read, then definitely donate and just let me know what your YouTube name is, and I'll read whatever chat you want me to read. Sorry, my mic blanked out.
We had to even tell her, like, you can't pull over in your car when you by yourself because you see somebody on the road and they need help because it's dangerous out there. But she was kind of like the type of person that would have to, like, try or see for herself.
It started.
Yeah, and this is the sad part, that you have a woman who is breaking up a fight and she's gunned down. I mean, who shoots a woman trying to break up a fight? Oh, I know. These super gremlins who are on demon time. I've said this time and time again. Women, children, it doesn't matter. Nobody is spared. The community
I mean, anybody can get it. All right. They are equal opportunity murders. All right. And it's sad to say, it pains me to say, but this is what we've put on film for all you guys who play sports, and we got this college football season that's 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, just about. And it's a common phrase. Hey, man, what are you going to put on film? What are you putting on film? And now with all these cameras everywhere, surveillance everywhere, especially in the city of Chicago. Okay. We got surveillance in Detroit. Cameras that pick up every corner of every block. All right. Every side of every building. And if you ask yourself, if the Black community asks themselves, if we ask ourselves, right? What are we putting on film? What are we putting on film? Okay. What are we leaving behind? It's a lot of bodies, man.
With Donnay and her girlfriends having a fun night out. They went to the Coney Island for a bite to eat when an argument developed between two men and a woman, according to sources.
She just wanted everybody to go home and get home. And I'm very sure in my thoughts of knowing that she wanted to get home. I guess the guy followed her out and she was able to get herself out of the restaurant and she was shot in the parking lot.
Although we couldn't actually touch her when we went to go view her based upon the circumstance, she even had a smile on her face as we had to observe her in her last state.
So, just a reminder to all you guys watching, you see an altercation between two super gremlins, wash your hands with it, say fuck it, and move on. It's never worth interceding.
Doing the right thing. And that's what angers me.
Detroit activist Pastor Mo works with many community groups.
And shout out to Pastor Mo. We have done videos breaking down Pastor Mo, getting young Black men into the recording studio, resolving issues with their ops, putting positive rhymes on wax, or at least that's what he's attempted to do in the city of Detroit. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not making a difference, but he's not putting a real dent into the murders. We see murders continually going up, especially since 2018. Now we have seen a slight decline in murders from, if you compare 2022 to 2023, but the only reason we've seen that decline is because 2022 was an astronomical year for murders in Democratic cities. I mean, shout out to all the violence interventionists and activists, but I genuinely don't think it's making a dent.
Teaching de-escalation techniques to quash beefs before they ever can turn violent. He offered this advice for safe conflict resolution.
Make sure you're in a lighted area. Read body language. Look and see if they're reaching. Look and see if there's anything poking out their waist. Look at their type of demeanor. If this is the kind of person like they would have a weapon. If this is a working class person who maybe got on work clothes, you might can reason with them. There's somebody with a hoodie on.
So listen to what Pastor Mo or whatever the hell is saying. He's telling you to profile. In so many words, he's telling you to profile these ninjas. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. If he looked like he's a working class man, blue collar man, you could probably take him seriously. You could probably conflict resolution, implement some conflict resolution practices. You can possibly talk him off the ledge because he has something to lose. Now, if a white man said this, he would be a racist. He would be considered a bigot. He would be considered all of the phobias they would consider him exemplifying his white privilege by pointing out the fact that when you look at somebody, you can pretty much tell what type of person they are by reading the book as it's covered. Okay. So let's run it back just a little bit to show you how much profiling he tells you to do. It is a black man telling you to profile, telling you to look at their attire, telling you to assume their occupation, not telling you, hey, if this man has a badge and he's a union worker or whatnot. No, he's saying, oh, he looks like a blue collar worker. You assume his occupation, even though we're not supposed to assume genders, but we're assuming occupations now. I mean, it's a whole tangled web that the Democrats have spun for themselves. And this guy obviously is a fucking Democrat. I mean, he's not going to vote for a Republican. He probably never would. Because he's so sold ideologically to the Democratic Party, and obviously they grease his pockets. All these programs, nonprofit organizations that these guys are starting, they're benefiting from and they're profiting from, no doubt. So
I'm not trying to judge anybody out their ways. Look at their type of demeanor.
Escalation techniques to quash beefs before they ever can turn violent. He offered this advice for safe conflict resolution.
Make sure you're in a lighted area. Read body language. Look and see if they're reaching. Look and see if there's anything poking out their waist. Look at their type of demeanor. If this is the kind of person that they would have a weapon. If this is a working class person who maybe got on work clothes, you might can reason with them. This somebody with a hoodie on. I'm not trying to.
A hoodie? Hold on. So let me get this straight. Didn't George Zimmerman get in a lot of trouble for profiling a young black man with a hoodie? I mean, is he saying that you can tell that a super gremlin is on demon time if he has a hoodie on? Because last time I checked, a hoodie and a bag of Skittles and a can of Arizona was not a death sentence. All right. Being in possession of a hoodie, Skittles, Arizona, is not supposed to be a death sentence. But now he's telling you, hey, this guy has a hoodie on, profile him straight up. Even if he has no idea who the assailant was who shot this woman, but he's just saying, oh, if he has a hoodie on, look, this dude could have had a wife beater on, some bedazzled skinny jeans, sagging his pants 12 inches off his asshole. He has no idea what this guy had on. But he went straight to a hoodie. Very interesting choice of words. Very interesting article of clothing that he chose to focus on and identify as a potential sign of a threat. And this is what black people have been protesting against for the longest. Don't profile us because we got hoodies. Don't profile us because we got ripped jeans. Okay. But now he's telling other black people to do just that. Shout out to us, Silent Creek. He says, I'm hoping there's an end to all this violence. And he sends a $10 cash app.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yeah, and I very much hope that there is an end to all this violence. But as you know, if you have been outside, as my little boy, little homie AGs says, it doesn't look likely.
Judge anybody, but this is somebody who looks like they could be dangerous, menacing, or just don't care. Be careful how you approach somebody who could be having a mental breakdown.
Okay, so how would you be able to tell that just based off of appearance? So guys, let me know in the comment section. I mean, he's saying be able to profile them if they look like they're having a mental breakdown, if they look menacing, if they look like they're up to no good. How are we going to identify that without any context, just straight off of looks? What are we basing that off of? Okay.
Meantime, Donnae's family is determined to make sure her legacy lives on.
I just want whoever did this to know they took away such a bright light that shined on so many different people. Everybody that she ever talked to will remember her because of just her great shine. Just her personality was amazing, and she was amazing.
and no known arrests have been made. Police are still investigating, and they ask anyone with any information, anyone who may have seen something, no matter how small of a detail, to call Detroit police. We're live at the 8th Precinct. Dave Kinchin on the edge.
Yeah, Dave, it seems so tragic when she was walking away in the parking lot, nearly free of this situation, to have it take such a turn.
Yeah, that's right. And police do have some surveillance video from the actual restaurant. We did talk with the owner of the restaurant. So he said police are looking at that video, trying to get more information. So hopefully some leads will come from that. That's very critical in all of this.
Yeah, and hopefully some tips come in. Thank you for that report as well.
Wow. So they're waiting for tips. Nothing on this black woman who was killed. And I'm telling you right now, the man who killed her is having sex with a black woman right now as we speak. And that woman knows that he killed another black woman. And guess what she's going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. So when we talk about protect black women, that also means not sleeping with killers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right? Because, you know, we talk about black women not being protected, but then you got a Thug Max Alpha Simp who you're letting blow your back out, who just blew a black woman's brains out. And they're still sexually active. And everybody knows who did it in the hood. All right. This is the norm in the community. This is something that isn't addressed, and this is something that needs to be addressed. Okay. We are at a crossroads in the community. And what we do within the next, I'll say within the next, I want to be conservative, but I think the next 9 to 18 months are make or break for the black community. I really do. What we do in the next 18 months is going to determine our fate in civilization, within this civilization. Okay, within this country. What we do within the next 18 months is going to determine that. I truly believe that with all my heart. And I don't see a 180 happening at this point, at this moment, not right now. I only see the doubling down of the woke rhetoric. I only see the doubling down of the oppressive sermons. Okay, the victim mindset.
The street in broad daylight, in the middle of the street in broad daylight on Detroit's east side, and now police need your help finding the shooter.
Yeah, we've got Fox News' Robin Murdoch out for us live in Detroit. And Robin, how are those victims doing this morning?
Well, at last check, Erica and Jay, one of the victims in the shooting was in critical condition. The other was in stable condition. As you mentioned, the search for the suspect who put both of those men in the hospital, that does continue at this hour. Now, according to investigators, this all began with some sort of an argument that happened right in the middle of the street. It was actually on McKay Street between 8 Mile and Outer Drive. This is on the city's east side, and all happened right around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. That argument quickly escalated into gunfire. Again, 2 men in their 40s were shot. Investigators are now working to identify and find the suspect who pulled the trigger. It's unknown at this point whether that suspect ran from the shooting scene or had a car parked nearby and actually drove off. These are all things that police are trying to figure out. Take a listen to this neighbor.
I was home when it happened. I was in my backyard cutting tree limbs down, and I heard the gunshots, but I didn't pay it any attention.
Thank goodness.
Damn. So, I mean, you heard that straight from the horse's mouth. The sister says she heard the gunshots. She didn't pay it attention. Business as usual. Going about her day. She's not worried about it. Didn't even check the look. That says a lot about the state of affairs going on in Detroit.
We were able to make it here in time for the second victim, who is actually in stable condition right now. We were able to convey him to the hospital so that he could be get medical treatment.
Now, police have not yet shared a description of the suspect that they are currently looking for. Of course, if and when they do, we will be sure to pass it along to you as well. And of course, if you know anything about this double shooting on the city's east side, give Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers a call right away.
Two people, random people, just shot in the middle of the street. The communitized, none the wiser. I mean, guys, and they will literally come in my comments section and be so upset that I'm acknowledging that this is going on. They're so angry when I put the face to the crime. Okay, they're so upset, and I don't understand why. If the guy is a bad guy, he's a bad guy. Okay, and something needs to be done about it, point blank. And it's looking rough out here, y'all. The sentiment, the overall sentiment, the overall mindset, the cognitive dissonance, the just straight denial. Oh shit! Drop my water bottle. Woo! I mean, it's rough out here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a lot of descriptors to explain what was going on here. Terrifying, nerve-wracking. This owner of Maid in the Mitten is often here late at night, so this is something that goes through her mind, the potential for this. It's about 10:13, and she actually hears the sound, the shaking. Now, she believes that it actually was a crowbar that this suspect was using to try to get inside. Tried two entrances, in fact. Now, police couldn't verify that particular detail, but they know that the person went from the back to the front. And then when she called out and said the police are on the way, that's when he got away. The sound of someone trying to break into a business in Royal Oak. The good news is it's also the sound of them failing to make their way in. We spoke with...
And thank goodness he didn't make his way in, because he 100% would have killed anybody in there. And even there was only like $5 in the cash register, he still would have did it. Okay.
With folks in nearby downtown businesses who obviously don't want to see this kind of thing in their area.
It's just crazy to see, especially in a city like Royal Oak, when all the cops are around and everything, someone just to try and attempt to break in, and knowing that there's still people there is wild.
Royal Oak police tell me this video comes from Monday night around 10:13. And it's actually very possible the perp didn't know the owner happened to be inside. That part is still unclear. But when she called out about the police being on the way, he ran.
Everybody got businesses and stuff, and people have mouths to feed at the end of the day. I just feel like there's no reason to break in.
The owner of Maid in the Mitten told us she's pretty shaken up, and the entire ordeal was terrifying, partially because the man tried both entrances. The back and the front of the store. The video gave her a pretty good description. A black man, bald head.
Wow. I've been covering this type of content for a long time, and rarely, if ever, have I heard them actually identify the culprit. Okay.
With a full beard, approximately 6 feet to 6'3", who wore a blue hoodie, blue jeans, gray shoes with white bottoms. And as you can see, he tried to cover his face with a white long sleeve shirt, but that clearly didn't work. I ran that description by police, and they tell me it's right, and they're still looking for the suspect.
I would say it's pretty safe, but there has been times, a couple of events where some unfortunate things have went down.
And the owner of Maid in the Mitten said that police were here within a minute. So that was really something she was thankful for. And obviously the suspect is still out there. I just checked with...
And a minute is not a normal response time, especially since the defunding of the police.
Royal Oak Police. So if you happen to notice who that is, of course, we're going to get this up on our website, fox2detroit.com. You can take another look at that suspect. Reach out to Royal Oak Police if you know who it is. Or you can always call Crime Stoppers. Any tips you send them will certainly get over to the Royal Oak Police. They say they haven't seen an uptick in incidents like this, break-ins, burglaries, attempted break-ins. So that is the good news. We're live in Royal Oak. I'm Hillary Goldston. Fox 2 News.
So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get into the main event that you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk about the Super Gremlin who is making his rounds on the local Detroit news for, you guessed it, deleting his own mother. And then being found at McDonald's grabbing a bite to eat after taking the life of his own mother.
This is some pretty amazing police work by a Detroit police officer on patrol here downtown Detroit. Walks into this Domino's restaurant and immediately recognizes 25-year-old Joshua Hill as a
Oh, he's at the Domino's. Okay. For some reason, I thought he was at the McDonald's.
wanted murderer. He moved in for the arrest.
He actually saw him downtown buying a pizza.
Technically, it was stuffed cheese bread. Unbelievable how bold Joshua Hill casually placing the order Sunday at Domino's downtown while he was wanted for murdering his mom.
Wow. So my man was craving cheesy bread after killing his mom, and I guess killing a parent. I guess killing a parent makes you hungry. But this is the low of the low. You know, the fact that he went to Domino's over Pizza Hut, over Papa John's, hell, even damn near Little Caesars. I mean, you chose Domino's, bruh. That's how you know this man has no taste.
You will kill your mother. You'll do anything.
That's been the fear of Inkster Police and Michigan State Police since Hill's mom, a 64-year-old woman, was found shot multiple times at her home off Glenwood near Middlebelt in Inkster. Since then, last Monday, a manhunt for Hill on the run.
He recognized him from the media reports, the pictures, and then the intel pictures that we had.
Detroit Police Chief James White giving his officer major kudos for the keen eye, and then for this part too.
Did not have to engage in a use of force with them. Someone who obviously has very little to lose and was in fact armed.
We're told Domino's employees were told to get back as the officer moved in, taking Hill into custody without any issues, then handing him back over to Inkster.
The people of Detroit and the people of Inkster can rest easy knowing that this subject isn't still out there with a gun and ready to hurt someone.
Joshua Hill will now be charged out of Inkster. Sounds like he's also racking up some charges here in Detroit for carrying that weapon. That arraignment to come in the next couple of days. Reporting downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Wow. So like the officer said, kill your mom, kill anybody. And yeesh. I mean, these super gremlins, they're definitely different. I'll tell you that much. Like this batch that we got, it's a whole different breed.
We have an update on the search for a man accused of murdering his 64-year-old mother in Inkster.
Damn.
Michigan State Police say they have found a vehicle that is believed to belong to Joshua Hill on your screen. Troopers are still searching for Hill. If you see him, do not approach. He is considered armed and dangerous. According to Inkster Police, the murder happened Monday inside his mother's home on Glenwood Street, just between Central Street and Eastern Avenue. Authorities believe Hill is on the run in the Metro Detroit area.
So what's going on, guys, is that a lot of these guys are staying back, staying with their mothers after graduating high school. And honestly, I get staying with your parents to save money, but these young men, they have no business staying with their mothers. They need to hop off the porch, go get a job. Okay. Start working immediately. Start occupying their mind. I could understand 6 to 9 months, get on your feet and then get up out of the crib. But I just think, and he could be mentally challenged, even though I don't want to give him the mental health out. But that could be a possibility. But I mean, which one? which one of these supervillains aren't mentally challenged, right? But you have this brother, and he was under his mother's roof, and I can only imagine, you know, a mother who is pretty irritated with her child, didn't want to raise him by herself in the first place, brought him up to his ripe old age of 21, right? I think he's 21. And he's still at the crib, eating up all the cereal, eating up all the food in the fridge. And she probably says something to him like, boy, you a bum ass nigga. You just like your daddy. You need a good job. I mean, I don't know. He could have just crashed out. But I'm sure that there was an ongoing tension. I mean, I've seen very disgruntled relationships with men who are raising single mother households with their mothers. I've seen this oftentimes, you know, constant arguing, constant back and forth. This is something that is pretty common in the community.
Mother. She was found today for an alleged killer accused of shooting his own mother. She was found shot to death in Inkster on Monday. Fox 2's Jessica Dubnak joining us live with the details. And Jessica, they're still looking for him.
Absolutely, Taryn and Dave. I just checked in with investigators within the last hour, and they tell me that 25-year-old Joshua Hill, he is still on the run. Now, it is possible that he is still armed, but investigators definitely say he's dangerous.
These incidents impact a neighborhood beyond belief. People are rattled. People are concerned.
The chief is right. This Inkster street on edge, a manhunt for a suspected murderer, 25-year-old Joshua Hill.
I didn't probably sleep 2.5 hours. You don't know if Josh is coming back. Josh is still not caught. Is he in the house next door? Did he come back when we were all sleeping? Is he in one of these empty?
And he got all these neighbors afraid of him, and they know him by name. Maybe they could give us some insight to his mental capacity.
Houses.
Teresa McNay lives right next door to the murder scene, a home off Glenwood near Middlebelt. Hill's mother, a 64-year-old, was found dead Monday afternoon, shot multiple times.
We've known the family for 28, 29 years now. Really, really good people. I'm shocked. I'm seriously shocked.
Teresa describes the family as kind, church-going, and normal. But
So, you know, church-going, God-fearing family, and he's probably sitting there at church just filled with demonic thoughts. Okay? Filled with murderous thoughts. Angry at the pastor, angry at the deacon, angry at the ushers, angry at the choir, the pianist, the musicians of the church, angry at the old ladies with, you know, who are wearing too much perfume and wearing hats with birds and flowers on them. You know? Sounds like he was tired of all the religious stuff, tired of being forced to wake up and go to early morning Sunday service, you know, mid-morning Sunday service and afternoon service and the night service. I mean, I'm just trying to think of maybe some things that obviously are not reasons you should delete your mother over, but I'm trying to get into his mind. You know, maybe he's waking up every Sunday like, man, I can't stand this. Like, she making me go to church again. She know I don't believe in that bullshit. You know, I'm just saying that could be his mindset. Right? Now, they're saying that the family were God-fearing people. And I'm going to take their word for it. All right? I'm going to take their word for it. Let's just say, hey, the mother, she was God-fearing, and she tried to instill disciplines into the young man, but it just backfired in the most atrocious way.
she says Joshua Hill stuck out.
But their son Josh definitely had some mental issues. He kept to himself over there in 2.5 years. He never spoke to anybody on this block.
So you knew something was a little odd.
Definitely.
Clearly, anybody that has the wherewithal to shoot their own mother is a danger to the community.
Michigan State Police detectives are leading the case and initially put out to the public 2 vehicles Hill could be in. As of Tuesday afternoon, it's unclear what vehicle, if any, he's now associated with.
It's urgent that anybody that knows his whereabouts contact us.
I hope the family can make it through this. I'm praying for them.
Just a tough situation all the way around. Family was back out at the house earlier today. They were just too upset to talk with us, as you can imagine. Now, the Inkster police chief, who you heard from in this story, they're working in conjunction with Michigan State Police investigators. He says very confident that these investigators will find Hill and bring him into custody. And a message to Hill, if he's watching, just turn yourself in. That's from the chief. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Man, I mean, guys, it's tough covering these stories, man. Tough. You see this and you're just like, wow. The man deleted his own mother. Okay. You ain't gonna get this story anywhere else. You're not gonna get this insight, this point of view anywhere else. All right. So you might as well stay here. You might as well stay tuned. Let's see. Got a couple more videos on this one. Got a couple more videos on this one, and then we'll wrap up the stream. I know this is a little shorter stream than I normally do, but I mean, it's just like, damn, when you're covering the shit that I'm covering all day, I need a fucking break. You dig? Because this shit is wild. Let's see. Romero Dubois says, what you think happened to the ex-football player mom, and have they found him yet? I think they just found him. I just saw an Instagram post on that. But I mean, she probably was just killed. Okay. And I'm not completely sure. I'm not completely sure what happened, but I'm sure the facts will come out. I wonder what was going through his mind. A 10-year-old deleted his mother a few months ago because she denied him a video game. Yeah, I did a story on that. I said better her than an innocent person. Jay Rillo says, I found your channel. Dropped a sub. Okay, shout out to Jay Rillo in the building. Alan Lindsay, most police deserve the bad rap or the bad rep they get from the community. Think about all the baggage they have to bring home with them every day, though. It's really not a job for a decent person. I mean, you know, we do see high domestic violence rates in police officers. So obviously the job takes a toll on them. And yeah, I mean, it does, especially, I mean, I'm only covering this from the comfort of my home, and I'm like, whew, okay, I need to decompress. Maybe I need a glass of water, maybe a glass of wine. But you know, I feel it. I feel it. It makes me take a deep breath.
We begin with our top story tonight in Inkster, where police say they're searching for a man who killed his own mother.
And police are asking for your help tonight, tracking down the suspect. Kelly Vaughn has been at the scene on Glenwood Street in Inkster all day. She has the very latest tonight on the search for the suspect.
Police have been on the scene here for more than 7 hours. They say a 64-year-old woman was shot and killed. The suspect, her 25-year-old son. Police suspect 25-year-old Joshua Hill of killing his mother. Hill is not in custody, and Michigan State Police are asking the public for information on his whereabouts. Inkster police were first called to the home on the 29,000 block of Glenwood Street around 2 p.m. on Monday with reports of suspicious circumstances.
Upon arrival, officers made entry into a home and discovered an elderly female, unresponsive.
Inkster Police Chief Bill Ratliff says she had apparent gunshot wounds and was dead at the scene.
At this point, Inkster Police Department investigators and Michigan State Police investigators are working the scene to try to determine a motive.
Michigan State Police say Hill may be driving a black 2005 Ford Escape or a 2020 Ford Escape. The license plate numbers are on your screen and can also be found on cbsnewsdetroit.com. Reporting in Inkster, Kelly Vaughn, CBS News Detroit.
Police say if you know the whereabouts of Joshua Hill or if you see him, do not approach him. Call 911. You can also call 855-MISH-TIP or Crime Stoppers at 800-SPEAK-UP.
All right, let's see. I'm looking for a little more context on this story. But if not, we will move along. I'll definitely read some of you guys' chats too. All right, let me just shout out to Gliding Mud Shark. I didn't get an alert yet. I'm listed to get all notifications. Yes, it's that YouTube bullshit. OKS, let's not forget it's taboo for the Black community / culture to seek counseling, mental services, because it is a sign of weakness. Today we are seeing the result of that mentality. Yeah. A lot of these folks have issues that have not been worked out internally. And that is why we continue to see this level of violence, all right? It's just the facts. This level of demon time activities are unprecedented. And then you got a guy killing his own mom. I mean, it's like every single day, every single week, we're just seeing which super gremlin can outdo the next. And the stories just keep getting crazier, haven't they, guys? I mean, for my long-term supporters, haven't the stories just been on and on and on, just keep getting worse and worse? These super gremlins are demon time.
Michigan State Police are now taking the lead on a homicide in Inkster, where the victim's son is the alleged killer. The manhunt is happening now for 25-year-old Joshua Hill, who is accused of shooting his mother inside their home yesterday afternoon. Our Ray Strickland spoke to neighbors who are stunned by what happened, and he's at Central and Glenwood Streets in Inkster with a story.
I spoke to neighbors in this Inkster community who tell me the scene of where this murder happened was one of the most peaceful homes on this block. The victim, the 64-year-old woman, they describe her as one of the most sweetest and kindest people you'll ever meet on this street. But her son, the suspect accused of killing her, they say was someone who kept to themselves and didn't really speak to anyone, even if you spoke to him. But
okay, so he is probably, the incel type. I think that's how he would be identified in a Twitter forum, right? Or what is it they call the Twitter, the Twitter thread or X, however you want to call it. But this guy, he was antisocial and he didn't speak to many people, kept to himself. Definitely in this day and age, it's sad to say, but nowadays, like, damn, we kind of got to watch out for these introverts because they're out here catching bodies.
What he allegedly did, they say, is something they never saw coming.
25 police, fire department, ambulance.
Neighbors living along Glenwood and Inkster detailed the moments their street became a crime scene, a homicide investigation, and at the last place they would ever expect.
There's never any problems over there. Never. We don't hear no yelling come from over there. We don't never see no police go over there. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm sure, given what took place, it's just
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild. It's mind blowing.
Michigan State Police say a 64-year-old woman was found shot to death in the home across the street from where William Pickering lives. It happened yesterday around 2:00 p.m. in the 29,000 block of Glenwood. Pickering and other neighbors described the woman who lived there as kind and peaceful, which makes this murder all the more devastating. But what makes it even harder to stomach for neighbors is the fact police believe her 25-year-old son is the one who did it.
I lost my mother when I was 11. I would do anything to spend time with her.
Yeah, and you know, same. I lost my mom when I was 8, and I just couldn't imagine doing something like this. Like, it's insane. But like I said, we don't know what's going on in that household. Now, I have seen some very overbearing mothers in all, you know, through all demographics, but all I can speak for is what I've seen in the community. And I've seen mothers who push their sons to the edge. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened to her. I'm not trying to victim blame. But I've seen mothers force their kids, like every time they come downstairs, to have a big smile on their face. Not their kids, but the oldest son. Just targeting, singling out, unfairly, unfairly picking on the older son, making him the man of the house at 9 years old. I mean, things like that. Then when the child gets older, because he's been the man of the house so long, he starts to want to do things his own way. Not saying that he's doing the wrong thing. In this case, obviously, this young man was. But in many cases, you know, some of these guys, they just start doing their own thing, doing things their way. Their mother doesn't like it. Simple things, too. Simple things that can get you, that can continually add up to where it's now become the point where she's just berating you. And a lot of these mothers can get like that. Like, let's keep it a buck. A lot of you Black women in the community, y'all, even though I hear a lot of young girls say, "Oh, well, my mom was super easy on my brothers, and she was hard on me." I haven't seen that. I've seen the mothers just like go head to head with the sons, and those are out of all the single parent, single mother relationships that I've seen. I would say about 80% is just the mother and the son going at it, heckling each other. It's not a lot of love. And when the child moves out, there's no love lost, because the love was lost years ago, you know, in the child's adolescent years. And this is a real thing. I mean, y'all can deny it as much as you want. A lot of y'all can claim that you're nurturers and all this kind of shit. I mean, I'm not buying it for a second. I mean, y'all are up y'all son's ass, and y'all are, in the moment that, you know, you lose control or he can't do something for you, you don't give a fuck about him. This is not all of the single mothers out there, but I've seen a very substantial, significant amount of single mothers who do this type of heckling and pestering to their sons. I'll give you an anecdote. You know, I was close to this young man, and his mom, you know, they lived in a 2-story house. He had his own room upstairs. The girls had their own rooms too. And she would force him to smile every time he came downstairs. And if his smile wasn't big enough, she'd make him go back upstairs and smile. This young man was 16 years old. Very introverted, kept to himself, in the high school band, good kid, made good grades, A's and B's. But his mother was on his ass for no apparent reason other than making him the man of the house. So she berates him every time he comes downstairs. You better put this smile on. You better put this smile on. You better be smiling when you come downstairs. I don't want to see none of that attitude. I don't want to see no frowns. You know. And one day, he was smiling. He came down the stairs. He was smiling. The mother called him out. So he smiled even harder, but she felt like it was a sarcastic smile. Now, I mean, obviously, this is an insane story, and it could be an outlier, which I highly doubt, especially in these Black single mother households. I would say that this story is pretty tamed in comparison to the other things I've seen. But you have this young man. He was being berated by his mother. She was on him constantly. And, you know, he was doing the right thing on a day-to-day. And his mom just, boom, kept pestering, kept going in on him, kept picking at him, kept trying to get under his skin. And this is mother. And, you know, she pushed him to the edge. He basically was smiling when he came downstairs. She didn't like the way that he was smiling. She said it was a sarcastic smile, sarcastic smirk. So she followed him up the stairs and proceeded to push him, you know, put her hands on him, slap him around. And finally, he was pushed to the limit. And he pretty much mugged her, right? Grabbed her face, threw it to the ground. 16-year-old boy handling a grown-ass woman. Threw her face to the ground, put her in a headlock. And the rest is history. And I mean, he didn't kill her, but he put her in a headlock and he let her go after the girls came up and oh, let go, mom, you know. And she pushed him to the edge. And I've seen these, I've seen all demographics of mothers do this, but specifically and especially Black single mothers, they do this to their sons. They really do. And I'm not saying that that justifies her death, but I'm saying that is an angle that we could potentially explore. But I, from what the neighbors are explaining, in my opinion, I don't think that's what happened, but it does happen. And I just want to explain maybe why someone would be pushed to this point. And then for my anecdotal story, later on, you know, it went back to religion. Oh, he was possessed by a demon. I saw his eyes light up red. You know, the devil took over his body, and all of the accountability started to slowly skirt away from the mother who provoked him and went to, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm a God-fearing man, but for the purpose of this rational and how do I say this as to not to offend the religious, for effect of this story, she wanted to blame an imaginary, you know, an imaginary force. Satan took over his body. The devil took over his body. No, you just pushed him to the edge. You got him pissed off. And when, you know, when you back a dog or a lion or anything into a corner, they're going to snap. They're going to snap. Okay. So let's see. OKS says, shit, I have seen the worst mothers come from the Black community. They do and say the worst shit to their children. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it, man. I have seen it. Church-going, God-fearing women, they get to that crib, and that God shit go out the fucking window. Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Bean says, young men don't live with your mother. Yeah, please don't. OKS says, facts. Jackass says, I wish I could have spent more time with my dad. OKS says, they send their children out to do crime and violence. That is true. They will say, oh, you're the man of the house. Go sell drugs, you know. Bring back the bacon for the kids. I mean, that's a reality in the community. Jackass also says, I still love my mom and dad, but I miss my dad more. OKS says, no, sir. The abuse is common with Black mothers, either verbal and or physical. OKS says, some of the most religious people on the planet, Black abusive mothers. John Q. That is true. Javiercito says, is this live? Yes. Please hit the Cash App and the PayPal or the GoFundMe or, you know, join the Patreon. Zachary Magpul says it's okay to be religious, Jinquavi. It's a bad time right now. Need God. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not. I don't have anything against religion, but I also like to have practical conversations, and I hate when people try to bring in religion into practical, like realist conversations. Like, I don't like to involve the supernatural in conversations that don't deal with the supernatural. So, for instance, man takes meth and bites somebody's face off. Oh, the devil possessed him. No. he smoked a fucking ounce of meth, right? And then he was so high that he ate a man's face off. It had nothing to do with Satan or the devil. And I hate when people, oh, well, God did this, or the devil did this. And it's just like, no, bro, y'all got to stop with that. Jackass says, I think I could have become one of these men, but I joined the army and met a lot of strong men that I admired. Most of the strong men were black NCOs. Javiercito says, damn, we can't even send super chats. SMH. Why though? Yeah, because I'm demonetized. That's why. So hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you want to donate. But yeah, super chats are not enabled because I am demonetized and shadow banned. And my monetization privileges will most likely never return. So YouTube doesn't like this content. They don't like exposing the debauchery that's going on in the community. They don't like the fact that I am holding black men accountable. They don't like the fact that I'm calling out these godforsaken rappers and entertainers who don't give two shits about the black community. And they don't like the fact that I am calling out the people who support the no snitching movement and the perpetuation of the street codes. Zachary, he says, you're 100% right. Can't blame demons for everything. Yep. Pearl Max says Snyder Powell killed her mother for no reason. She was 21 in college, great grades, stabbed her mom 32 times in the neck after hitting her with a frying pan. Yeah. I mean, we've heard many stories like this.
The one person that gives you life in this world, you turn around and kill.
Don't let this fool you guys.
This is video of the suspect,
Oh,
25-year-old Joshua Hill.
Damn. So he was saying Trump 2024. And that could have been an ideological disagreement that started this this assassination of his own mom. So wow. So his Facebook account. Oh wow. So let me see if I can find his Facebook. Now I gotta find this ninja's Facebook. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So he was speaking on Trump, and they're gonna try and paint him Trump supporter, this, that, and the third.
Manhunt is currently underway for Hill, who police say is driving either a 2005 Ford Escape with the license plate DDG 1487 or a 2020 Ford Escape with BZK 999 as the license plate. Michigan State Police are asking the public if they see Hill or one of the cars to give them a call immediately.
Stayed to himself, never spoke to us in 2.5 years, never.
Neighbor Teresa.
Wow. So didn't speak one time to his neighbors in 2.5 years. I mean, nowadays your neighbors ain't what they used to be. But I mean, to go 2.5 years without having one verbal interaction with your neighbors is quite peculiar. But this goes to show the pervasive and infectious antisocial personality traits, disorders, however you want to call it, in the black community, where you will live beside somebody for 2 years and not say a word to them. You don't have any interest in learning your neighbors, getting to know them, maybe bringing a pie or a cake over, or vice versa, sitting down to dinner with your neighbors, something that simple. And I think I found it. Yep, I found his shit. Yep, I found his Facebook. So we're gonna get into his Facebook after this this story. This is going to be an even funner stream than I thought.
McNay says she frequently saw Hill either drinking or smoking at the home. She also suspected he may have had some type of mental illness. But to be accused of murdering your own mother is something McNay says is still hard to believe.
Nothing was loud. There was no banging. She wasn't screaming for help. There was no indication that anything was going on over there.
Maybe he deleted her in her sleep. That would be even more debaucherous.
McNay says she feels for the family, especially the victim's husband. She says she hopes Hill is caught soon because she's worried he may try to come back to the neighborhood.
Is he still hiding in one of these houses? There's tons of vacant houses around here that people squat in all the time. He could be anywhere else. They didn't look anywhere else because who knows what this kid's mindset is.
Reporting in Inkster, Ray Strickland, CBS News Detroit.
So now we are going to get into the mind of a murderer. And what uniform is that? It looks like he could have worked for Amazon. And this was 3 weeks ago. Somebody in the comments section says, this nigga loving his new job. And Joshua Hill replied, the perks is lovely. The perks are lovely, rather. Haha. And then somebody, Chantania Stanley, laughs at that. So it looks like he was working. Is this his son? Wow. I mean, he's got a lot going on. He's got a lot going on here. Somebody said, bro, what the hell you doing? Just turn yourself in, fam, please. And this is September 3rd, where this nigga crusty-eyed. He got a lot going on. But could there have been a political or ideological disagreement between him and his mother, Trump versus Biden, that caused a family feud that was irreparable? Let's get into it.
When I woke up this morning, I was on that Trump shit, and I'm still on that Trump shit. Don't let this shit fool you guys. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Colonial Park. Be there or be square.
So I have no idea what the fuck that means. These young niggas are very weird. I will say that. These young niggas are very weird. Somebody says, what is you talking about? Somebody says SMH. Damn, bro, you killed your moms. Bro, what you on? What you on, G? You kills your moms. Watery eyes don't make sense. Clearly on something. Damn. Bro, what the hell are you doing, bro? Just turn yourself in, fam. So let's look at some more pictures of Joshua. He's got the National Geographic shirt, or hoodie, rather. I don't know who this little nigga is. But as you can see, he has a round right here. He says, I just found a sniper rifle bullet. That's not a sniper rifle bullet. More likely to be I'm gonna guess a 5.56 maybe. In my backseat, and I have no idea how it got there. I'm confused as hell right now, and that was June 9th. So regular Douglas says 223. Okay, yeah. It looks a little thick to be 223 in my opinion, but maybe you're right. This potentially could have been his son or little brother. Talking about some daddy checkup. I'm about to put buckets on him now. Okay, so it is his son. Fuck, man. He I mean, he just killed his son's grandmother. His own mother. Somebody says that's a 7.26 by 54. Okay. So obviously, you know, the glorification of gun violence. And this is from the movie. What's that movie called? What's the movie with Queen Latifah and they crash out after robbing the bank? It was a good movie. What's that shit called? Hold on. Mad, is that Mad Money? No. That's the other one that they did. The one with like all the dykes. Set It Off. That's what it is. Set It Off. Yeah. Shout out to Regular Degla. Okay, that's in the chat. She said, yeah, these new black folks weird as fuck. They scare. Yep. So everybody's spamming Set It Off. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, this is him. This is Facebook. I mean, not much information here. We did see the weird video about I'm on that Trump shit. I have no idea what that meant. I did see something that he was holding in the beginning of this video. So what is this? Hold on. So what is this? What is this in his hand? Can we go frame by frame? So it's not letting me go frame by frame. What is that? Is that a clip or is that a remote control? Is that a remote control? Yeah, I think it's a remote control. One more time. Yeah, that's a remote. Okay.
When I woke up this morning, I was on that Trump shit, and I'm still on that Trump shit. Don't let this shit fool you guys. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Colonial Park. Be there or be square. Grah.
So he said grah, and grah is supposed to be a gun firing off sound effect. Yeah, I don't know I don't know how to call this one, guys. He went to Robichaud Senior High School. Let's look into the high school, maybe, you know. Now we're digging deep, okay? Now we're digging deep. Let's see. So he went to Robichaud High School. So on great schools, Robichaud High School has 2 out of 5 stars. Let's read some of the reviews. This school and its school board is just plain awful. Are just plain awful. Teachers are great, but the students are loud in class and makes it hard to focus in class. Wonder which students they're talking about. Getting administration to communicate or return a call is like having teeth pulled. So shout out to Bruce Wayne. We got Batman sending a cash app. He says, from your hombrito brother, double dub. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Oh, say that.
Yes, sir. Shout out to all my burrito gremlins in the chat. Okay. You already know we trying to build that wall. Let's see. Jackass says, don't live with your mom because it is so easy, but it also will stunt you. So let's see more about this school. So 4-year high school graduation rate looks like they're at 75%. The average SAT score is 795. That's abysmal. I mean, that's less than a 50. That's less than 50%. Right? Because I think they just made it to where does SAT go up to 2,400 or because not last time, but when I was in school, I think it went up to 2,400. Did they lower it or not? But SAT college readiness rate is less than 1%. Interesting. So this school definitely sucks. AP course participation less than 1%. And the average is 16%. Percentage of students enrolled in dual enrollment classes. So these are classes you can earn college credit for, less than 1%. Percentage of students enrolled in IB grades, less than 1%. And IB is it's the international what is that shit called again? I forgot what the acronym stood for. It's the International Baccalaureate courses. So basically, it's like super advanced type shit. It's like a step above AP. College success. Graduates pursuing 4-year college or vocational program, 15%. Graduates pursuing 2-year college or vocational program, 19%. Graduates pursuing college or vocational program, 34%. All right, so the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Let's look at the demographics. Let's see. All right, here we go. So student demographics, we have 84% Black, 13% white, 2% Hispanic. So obviously he was in a rough school, 50-50 when it comes to male and female. And 76% of the students come from low income families. So maybe give you guys some more insight as to why he did this. It looks like he wasn't actually an incel because he has a son, right? So he was sexually active, living with his mama. Maybe the son lived with them all. Maybe she was undermining his parenting. Or maybe she was just a casualty in the way of his mental tirade or crashing out. But either way, horrible story, horrible individual. And like I said, we're only going to start seeing more and more of this type of thing going on. So that was a deep stream, guys. We got into a lot of it, and I think we broke it down pretty well. Let's see. OKS says fact. If you call out a narcissist, anti-personality disorder person to their face, you are asking for death. Zachary says, yeah, Alan, it's a big ass round. In my opinion, I don't shoot the shit. He also says, whoa. Jackass says, my mother loved me. She would come up to me at random times in my life and say, you are special. You are something. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of times nowadays, single mothers just don't have that same affection and love for their kids. I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but it's more of a begrudging. It's more of a begrudging thing. Like, damn, I wish I ain't have your ass, but since I gotta take care of you, you know, I'm gonna do it. That's the vibe that I'm getting from a lot of these modern day single mothers. H says getting pussy doesn't make you not be a murderer. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that, but I originally I assumed that he was an incel because the neighbor said that he was antisocial. So I was assuming that he wasn't talking to nobody, but apparently he did have a son. Alan Lindsay says a bonus is that when they hit land, they don't really ricochet. Oh, I guess he's talking about the round. I'm an incel. I haven't had sex in 30 years, yet I have no debt and have assets. I live a simple life. So it looks like Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans is spending a lot of his time on whiskey and jacking off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to come for you, Jackass. I just felt it appropriate to make that joke, given your name and all. But Soft Serve says it's a great release, though. I guess he is referring to sex. Yep. Zachary says, my boss told me that a 3006 will kill any animal in America. So that's what he uses. I just kill paper. So 556 is plenty for me. Yeah. I'm rocking with the 556. Same. I also have this 22. It's pretty sick. I like the way the 22 shoots. It's a rifle. I got a scope on it as well, and it's almost like shooting a firearm with a silencer on it. It's so quiet, and it sounds like. But I mean, the rounds are like super small. But hey, man, when them shits hit you, woo! I mean, to me, like the 22 rounds are almost like a fat ass pellet gun, you know. But anyways, Jackass says, "Well, I do drink whiskey." Yeah. Well, anyways, we'll go ahead and end the stream there, man. Guys, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We have to stop. Because this shit is getting out of control. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Genquavius, aka Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17. And we are going to send it to Genquavius Jackson to take us away. I do appreciate everyone who joined the stream. Make sure that you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you show some love. Make sure you do whatever you got to do to support the channel. It doesn't have to be financially. Okay. It can be through spirit, whether you're praying for my sanity, doing these stories, or just praying for me to continue and keep faith that maybe one day what I'm doing here is going to make a difference. Send me you guys' energy to continue to have the drive and the perseverance, man, because I'm losing that. I hate to say this, but I love covering these stories, but then I'm weighing in my mind like, okay, because I also run other businesses. Should I just 100% go into my businesses and just, become successful in my own right? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not successful now, but I know that I could become way more successful if I just put the YouTube shit to the side. But I love it, man. And I wish that I could be compensated financially for it, but that isn't in the cards for me right now. And I'm just leaning on God's plan. So, persevering, staying motivated to continue to make videos and do this is I would say it's very difficult for me right now, especially without financial compensation. Especially when I'm trying to, I'm a young guy. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to get my affairs in order so that I can leave something for my kids, and maybe when I'm probably going to start a family in a couple of years, and I want to be in a position where I'm not worried about that. And I just know that a lot of the time that I do spend on my YouTube channels and whatnot, although like I said, I love doing them, but I know if I took that time and poured it into my future, which this could be my future, we never know, but if I poured it into the future that I believe is working for me right now, I just don't want to leave any crumbs on the table. And, it's just so conflicting, but I promise as long as you guys don't give up on me, I'm not going to give up on you. So with that being said, you already know what it is. It's your boy Genquavius. Hey, leave a comment, please. Comment immediately after the stream. That really helps us in the algorithm. And I definitely want to get into some deep discussions and, kind of get an insight of how you guys felt I did on the stream and what points that you really wanted to hone in on and address in this day and age. And, maybe we could come up with some solutions. But anyways, cop the merch as well. We got the Trump is a Blood t-shirts. I actually want to take you guys to the merch store real quick. because boy, I got some fire ass new shirts for y'all. Let me show you guys this one. I got these new Trump shirts, bro. I designed them myself. Like, look at this one. Don't you love that, man? Our president giving you a thumbs up in his mugshot, saying, hey, man, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I mean, he's telling you right there, hey, it's okay. Go ahead and cop the merch. We're going to be fine. As long as y'all go out and vote, as long as y'all go out and do what we're supposed to do, we're going to be fine. So I definitely want to show you guys that over here, we are in support of the president. Hell, even the nigga that killed his mama is in support of the president. Apparently, he said he was on his Trump shit. But, you know, we've got so many different iterations of this Trump is a blood t-shirt, as you guys can see. So awesome. We're definitely in support of the president over here. And if you ain't, then, you know, it is what it is. You might not want to kick it here because we're definitely going hard for the president. And we're going out in droves in 2024 to make sure that we get President Trump in office. It's extremely important to do so. And I think these t-shirts will help contribute to doing so. So anyways, you already know what it is. This is my fourth outro. But I'm going to go ahead and send it to Jinquavius to take us away. Peace, guys. I appreciate you. Leave a comment, like, share the video. And most importantly, be safe because these super gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jinquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Aw, look at Daddy.
He's not my dad, Mom.
Really, Ava?
He's not. My dad's in jail and I miss him.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.